Consider the solutions of the inequality the absolute value of x is less than 7.5. Which statement or statements are true? Select all that apply. Well, when we have the absolute value of x being less than a value, we know that on the number line, if we were to graph at 7.5 and at negative 7.5, first we know that if we have positive values, they are going to be less than 7.5. So we have this section right here. If I had a negative value, let's say negative 5, if I take negative 5, its absolute value will be 5, and 5 is definitely less than 7.5. So negative 5 is like right about here on the number line. This one works. If we were to say check another value, let's say we check negative 8. Well, its absolute value is 8, and that is not less than 7.5. So at negative 8, right here, we do not shade in that direction. So therefore, we're going to be shading to the left of negative 7.5, and we're not including that value. So we have that open circle. So we have that x is less than 7.5, and x is greater than negative 7.5. Well, that tells us automatically that answer choice B is a correct answer. Now, let's look at answer choice A really fast. So far, I have this section of it right here. But if I was to take this x is greater than negative 7.5 and switch it around, we could rewrite it as negative 7.5 is less than x. And I know that these are equivalent because the mouth or Pac-Man or the alligator is eating x in both of these. So they are equivalent. So then if I was to combine this one and this one together, we do end up getting answer choice A. Now if we look at answer choice C, I'm going to regraph another number line down here. So we have 0, 7.5, negative 7.5. This is the same as B, but there's an or in between. So that would mean that it would have to be greater than negative 7.5, and it would continue on in this direction, or it would be less than 7.5, and it would continue in this direction, making it all real numbers. Well, since we even tried negative 8 and it did not fulfill that, we could also put in, say, positive 9. The absolute value of positive 9 is not less than 7.5. So this section of the number line and this section of the number line are ruled out. That's why answer choice C is incorrect. Answer choice D is incorrect because if we had negative 7.5 and 7.5, this one is saying that I would have an open circle on both, and I would be shading in the opposite directions of what actually worked in our answer. So D can definitely be ruled out. Now let's read answer choice E. It says the solutions are all numbers x whose distance from the origin is less than 7.5. So the origin is 0, and the distance from the origin to any point on the line is less than 7.5. And this is modeled by the number line graph that works. So therefore, the correct answers here are choices A, B, and E.